You're tuned in to Nerd Overload, your weekly pop and geek culture show covering movies, TV, games, and comics.
Hey everybody, welcome to Nerd Overload, the pop and geek culture show that has already put 9-1 into our phones in case of emergency. Because stunts later in the show.
Yeah, this is a teaser for later in the show. You want to stick around for the second half, that's for darn sure.
Spicy content.
Oh, very spicy content. I'm Sam.
I'm Josh.
I'm Cody, and my stomach already hurts.
We have a great show for you this week. Thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate you sticking around with us here. We have a bunch of things we're going to be talking about, including some Super Bowl movie trailers and some other cool stuff. But first, probably the only cool thing on this show today.
Because of the heat.
Because of the heat. But first, let's talk about some things we've been checking out.
Check it out!
All right, so yeah, who has things that they've been doing this week?
On Valentine's, Samantha and I watched the 1981 classic My Bloody Valentine.
Oh, nice.
Oh, the original one, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
It was about what you would expect from a movie of that vintage of that genre.
Sure.
I didn't know it was so heavy on mining.
It is very minor centric and not like the underage. It's like the actual coal miner type.
Sorry, you said that, and it just made me think of that scene from Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a slasher of the time with a vague Valentine's Day theme.
Yeah. I mean, it was made around the time where holiday themed
Horror
movies were a big deal. So
I still think Jack Frost is my favorite one.
It's Jaws if the shark was a miner who was mad.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's very much like, you can't have the Valentine's Day dance now because the crazy miner's back. And
so
then
it's
the mayor's
also
like, we gotta do the dance.
It's also kind of Flashdance.
Yeah.
Or not Flashdance. What is
Dirty Dancing?
Footloose. That's the one. Nobody puts miner in the corner.
Unless he's mining.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless that's where the ore is.
Yeah, in fact, that is the only place they put the miner. Oh.
It's the Minecraft movie.
It is, yeah.
That's what the Minecraft movie's going to be.
Minecraft, yeah. Wouldn't that be wild?
Oh, no.
Wouldn't it be wild if that were the actual... Yeah, no.
I'm tired.
It's Herobrine. That's
it,
is
yeah.
the murder guy.
That's the one.
Oh, my God.
That's a thing I've heard of before.
That's a thing.
It's always in the patch notes.
Yeah.
It's always in the patch notes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was expecting more Valentine, and it was more about mining.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Now you got to watch the dumb remake.
Yeah. They cancel the Valentine's Day dance, and then all the teens, well, they're not teens really.
They're like
more
20-year-olds.
Young adults, yeah. Are like, well, we'll have a party at the mine, which is just already a brilliant idea, even if there wasn't a murderer in tow.
Yeah, you can get like a cave-in or whatever.
Yeah. It's a
with
mine.
Their raucous dancing.
Yeah.
To gyrate the rocks away from the wall.
And there's like a subplot about like two guys fighting over one girl, and the girl gets no say in it.
As was the style at the time.
It's like hilarious how awful it is about that. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, it was a thing, and like, not bad.
Okay.
It was about what I expected, what I expected going into it, and I feel like the kills were pretty mediocre. It feels like they probably had to cut a bunch of stuff
probably out for the MPAA.
Well, I know the remake is basically gore porn.
It's just which
was the style of the time.
Which was the style at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, the remake was that was around like Hostel time.
Yeah, it was.
So,
yeah.
When everything had to be real gross,
real hardcore. Yeah.
I don't know. I like my movie gore to be like over the top,
cartoony almost.
Yeah, almost cartoony, not like realistic.
Less
nasty.
Saw, more chopping maw.
Yes.
I was just getting ready to say, you smell like pepperoni.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of holiday-themed horror movies, Blood Rage. That's not cranberry sauce.
It was a Thanksgiving movie?
It was a Thanksgiving movie.
Huh.
They were at Thanksgiving dinner when he starts going after all the and the ensuing thing was his mother started dating a new guy, and the guy was a homicidal maniac. And was like, no, you can't. So he goes on a blood rage.
Because his mom starts dating a person.
You're not my real dad.
Exactly.
The movie.
Stab.
Basically. Yeah, but it was during Thanksgiving. There's in fact an entire scene where the mother is very verklempt that her boyfriend had just died, and she is sitting in front of the refrigerator just taking handfuls of Thanksgiving leftovers and just cramming them in her maw. Yeah.
The best Thanksgiving horror movie is The Pilgrim,
The Pilgrim?
which is it's on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
It's about it's been a while since I've watched it.
We're a few months removed from talking about
I know.
Thanksgiving.
But there's enough content here to glean from it. That's all right.
Like a family's kids are acting up, so they hire a pilgrim reenactor to give him the hard old country life, and he's like crazy.
Oh, okay.
And it says it's based on a true story. And there's a picture at the end of the family with a pilgrim.
Oh boy.
And like
Okay.
I want to know like the
real story?
the real story behind it.
See, when you were explaining the premise, I was thinking of Arrested Development with the guy with the one arm that they constantly hire.
That's why you leave a note.
That's why you leave a note. Yeah.
Man, whenever a really over the top horror movie says based on true events, and it's always like the most like barely anything.
But a lot of times it's just
sure.
a straight up lie. Like,
Yeah,
or a straight up
make
lie.
that up. Yeah.
Like Texas Chainsaw said it's based on a true story. It's not.
It's not.
It's like
There was a crazy person that lived inside a house. Woo, that's it.
Yeah.
or there was that one movie called The Possession or something, but it was about like that Jewish Dybbuk box or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
and then it carries a curse with it or something.
Yeah.
And they said that was based on a true story. The only true story was there was a box that had a story, and it all turned out to be fabricated.
Right.
So it's like, I can't ever trust a based on true events horror movie.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely not. Well, you know, it's not based on true events. The third and probably worst Thanksgiving horror movie, Thanksgiving.
Ohio's
Ohio's
claim
own.
to fame.
Yeah.
Hey, Thanksgiving is a classic. It's right up there with Tire.
There was a local high school
you mean
teacher.
Rubber?
Oh, Rubber, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a local county high school teacher who was one of the stars of Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Yes.
Eli Roth's Thanksgiving movie is going to be on Netflix here
Oh
in a
yeah,
couple
that's right.
days.
Yeah, you know, Eli Roth, he's fine.
It looks like Pilgrim.
Yeah. All right. Well, Josh, have you done anything this week? Any cool stuff?
I played the demo for Mario vs. Donkey Kong.
Hey, I
Yay.
also did that.
Nice. All right.
Yeah,
Speak on this.
It's only like, I don't know, five puzzles.
All of its meager 3 or 4 levels.
yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, it was fine.
Mario doesn't have the momentum that I would like him to have.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's also the nature of the Mario versus Donkey Kong. It's supposed to feel more like Donkey Kong and less like Super
Mario.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's supposed to feel a little more like classic Donkey
Yeah.
Kong.
But
It even
there-
plays the old theme, too.
Yeah, but there's still an adjustment, especially if you just come off like Mario Wonder or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's different.
These are the ones with like the little wind up
Little toy Marios.
Marios, right?
I don't get those either. Why
don't either.
that's the story?
Unless that's the excuse for them to move as clunkily as they do or whatever. I don't know.
I don't understand why Donkey Kong wants them. That's the whole plot. Like there's a great CG animated intro for it where Donkey Kong sees the mini Mario
Commercial.
toys.
Yeah, he sees the commercial for the toy, and he really wants one. Goes to the toy store, and they're sold out. So Donkey Kong gets mad, sees the factory across the street, and steals them all.
Okay. Well, that is kind of weird.
Yeah, like why does he want a Mario toy? I don't.
He would want a Peach toy
Or a Pauline.
or a Pauline toy.
Or
Yeah.
just, banana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get his motivation. Again, I know I've said this off off mic before, Nintendo's neglect of the Donkey Kong franchise fills me with a lot of sad and rage.
I like to anytime they bring Mario and Donkey Kong together again.
Well, it's classic. It's
the one of the classic rivalries of all time.
Right.
well, it's like the first one.
Yeah.
It's like one of the first ones.
Yeah.
I mean, the original Donkey Kong was Mario's first nemesis. Way before Bowser, way before any of that. When he was just Jumpman.
Before Wart. Everyone's favorite Mario character, Wart.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of surprised they haven't tried to shoehorn Wart into anything else.
He is in Link's Awakening.
He's in Link's Awakening, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
That was the last appearance of Wart, was the Link's Awakening remake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he hasn't been in a Mario game since the original Mario 2. Well, Mario 2.
Well, he's some sort of dream being.
Yeah,
so it makes sense.
Makes sense that he's there.
True.
It makes
That's
sense for him to be in Link's Awakening.
Yeah. I didn't think of... I actually never really thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
He goes by his Japanese name, Mamu, in Link's Awakening.
Yep.
Oh, that's why I never put it together. All right. That makes sense.
That game was weird. It had like that guy from for who the
Frog, the Bell Tolls or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
That game is really good too.
Is it? I've never played it.
It's basically Link's Awakening without the combat.
Okay.
Like all the combat is based on you having the right item for the fight. Like if your sword isn't strong enough, you're just gonna immediately lose.
Oh.
So it's more of like kind of an adventure game.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
But it's good. It's different and it's good.
Yeah.
If you can find a way to play that on your Game Boy, I would recommend it.
Fair enough. So one thing I did, this is a physical thing that I went and did. I went roller skating for the first time in
many years,
15-ish years.
Man, I don't have the balance.
I don't remember the last time I strapped on some roller skates.
I tell you what, it took a little getting back into the swing, and this was the first time I did roller skates instead of blades. Growing up, I was always rollerblades because that's the
radical.
That's the radical.
Well, that was the
thing.
time, yeah.
Which was the style of the time.
Yeah.
Of course. Jordan, past guest of the show, Jordan Taylor and I, we went roller skating. It was part of her Christmas present. She wanted to get back into it. I was surprised at how many people, both young and old, were at the roller rink. It was
what one?
So we went to Skate 71.
Skate Zone, yeah.
Skate Zone 71.
Where's that at?
It's on
Off
71 in Columbus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, that's a long stretch of highway. You got to be way more specific.
I mean, it's a very large building right there, and it says Skate Zone. It's yellow.
I almost never take 71 anymore.
Okay, fair enough.
Samantha took roller derby clinics there a couple times.
Nice. I remember that because we dropped her off, and then we went to 16-bit to kill time before picking her up. I remember that. That was a good time. We went and roller skated for about 3 hours, and there were some older gentlemen that were very, very, very good.
Like the whole skating backwards, flexing on everyone.
Backwards, doing the dance, shimmying around, the whole thing. And there are a bunch of little kids. They're all ages. And there were plenty of adults who were much worse than we were, who were hugging the rails.
I guess Zoomers does like adult skate nights and stuff.
We looked into that, and apparently, yeah, they do. And we are kind of interested in the Zoomers BYOB.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, adult skate party.
The last time I went to Zoomers, it was still called Rollerama. And I played the Next Generation pinball game.
Nice.
Oh, nice. I didn't know they had that there.
That was a long time ago.
I probably don't anymore.
A very long time ago.
Yeah.
I feel like they used to have Joe and Mac.
They did have Joe and Mac, the caveman game.
Caveman Ninja.
Yeah. Yeah, they had that. Did they have a fighting game there? I thought they had like Capcom versus Marvel or something like that at one point.
They could have. I don't know.
Yeah. So I remember playing a lot of something like that there. But yeah, Joe and Mac they had the pinball machines. They had a couple other machines.
Yeah, I've never been able to get skating, even like rollerblading. Like I had a pair and I did it a little bit and almost kind of got it, but I've never been. I don't know if it's because of like the extremely minor cerebral palsy that I have makes it extra hard or what, but I've never been able to do it.
I feel like with rollerblades, the boot is solid. Like it's more like a ski boot rather than like a
shoe.
Rather than a shoe with wheels.
Yeah.
Or like, I had a pair of very old vintage roller skates that were like boots that were like halfway up my calf.
Oh, nice.
Those were made of leather and they were
Yeah.
flexible.
Yeah.
So you could, it does contextually feel different. Plus, with a roller skate, you're stopping with your toe versus a roller blade where you're stopping with your heel.
I was just going to say, I almost wiped out a couple times because I tried to stop with my heel
rather than your toe.
instead of my toe. Yeah.
Yeah, I got closer with rollerblades, but never really got the hang of it.
Yeah. No, I rollerbladed a lot. In fact, fun fact about Sam was in Boy Scouts. One of my merit badges was rollerblading.
Nice.
Radical.
So I had the badge. I did the things that they did. Yeah.
I think back like when we were younger and how everybody and everything within our age demographic was all about, X Games and stuff like that.
It was the cool
sick.
thing.
It was sick.
Yeah.
It was. Dude.
It was tubular.
We had skateboarding.
Totally tubular.
We had, rollerblading. Some people got on razor scooters and did some wild stuff.
It was gnarly.
Got on a razor scooter and busted your ankle.
Oh, that reminds me. Something else. Did you have anything else?
No, I'm done.
Okay. So so Valentine's Day also coincides with me and my wife's, getting together anniversary.
Sure. Yes.
When we started dating.
Yes.
So it's been like 6 years now. We went to Columbus as per generally our,
like you do.
So we went and had lunch and did, our typical stuff. But then I looked up something else fun to kind of do. I found a cat cafe.
Oh, it's there on 23.
Yes.
Or High Street. Yeah.
Well, there's a couple in Columbus, but I went to the first pop-up I looked at.
Yeah, which one?
It was called Bubble Kitty.
That's the one on High Street.
It's the one on High Street.
There's one that you have to have a reservation.
I feel like that's all of them.
Oh.
But this one, you had to schedule a block to be in the room with the cats.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they didn't have any open slots when we went in. Or else we would have had to wait till like 4 o'clock.
Oh, gotcha.
And I'm like, I'm not hanging out that long.
Yeah.
But we did get some drinks and.
But were the drinks good? Cause, Jordan and I, when we go down that way, I always say, "Hey, do you want to go get some tea with some cats?"
Kitty Bubble Cafe and Bar.
Kitty Bubble
is
Cafe.
what it's called.
Yes. Yep,
and they have the most adorable cups.
Oh, that's cute. That's cool. I like it. They have cat ears on them.
Oh my god, yeah, that is adorable.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah,
I dig it.
You walk in and it's like getting slapped in the face with like every cat kawaii aesthetic you can think of.
Oh, sure.
All the chairs are like cat shaped, like with cat faces with ears. Everything is pink and everything is bright. And then the one wall, outside of having one big window at like a sit down bar, you can look into the room and see. But there's all these little domed windows that the cats can get up in and like
climb around and stuff.
See you while you're sitting in the booths.
So there's stuff to do even if you don't make an appointment.
Yeah, I mean, about as much as watching a cat through a window can be.
Yeah, I mean that's fine.
I'm good with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and they also do like adoption, possibilities and things like that. Yeah, it wasn't bad. The drink I had was good. They also have alcohol.
Oh,
this is a cafe and bar.
Get drunk with cats.
And they have cat tails.
Oh.
I don't know if that's what they call them, but I just came up with that joke.
I thought
I was going to say that would be very good.
I thought for sure that they did. I did.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. It was fun. I was like, I'm glad this is here. It's like in a little plaza. It's just within Worthington.
Yeah.
Just past that vintage Dairy Queen.
Right.
The vintage Dairy Queen. When I took a photography class at OSUM, the photography professor was like, "Do not take any more pictures of that Dairy Queen. I see so many pictures of that the neon sign on that Dairy Queen, and I'm tired of it."
Wait, which one? The one here in town or the one in Columbus?
The one in Columbus that has the big neon.
The old school Dairy Queen sign?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I get it. Of all the things you can take pictures of, I'm sure. Why does everyone keep going to that one if it's causing such an issue?
It's neon.
It's neon and cool.
You can do a long exposure on it and it'll look neat.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, that's all I've done.
Oh, geez. I'm trying to think if there was anything else.
I mainlined all the Alan Wake games because I just got Alan Wake 2 the other day.
Yeah.
And I've only played it for maybe like a half hour. But to make sure I was ready for it, I mainlined the other 2 games in the franchise, the original Alan Wake and then Alan Wake's
which
American
I hear
Nightmare.
you need to watch. You need to play those.
Oh,
to,
yeah.
To get
well,
Alan Wake. Yeah.
not so much American Nightmare, but definitely
The
Alan
first-
Wake
the
1.
first one. Yeah.
I didn't realize there was the other one.
It was like a Xbox arcade, like downloadable.
It's like a short game kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Kind of
Yeah.
like how Scott Pilgrim got its start.
Yeah, you can power through it in about 3 hours, but it's
Yeah.
a fun 3 hours. It's such a great Alan Wake is a great franchise. It marries a good story with like really solid like video game gameplay, like super video gamey gameplay. It's worth playing through the backlog for 2, I think, too. Even though I've only played a little bit of 2, it's amazingly good looking and more of a detective game than I had realized it was going to be.
Oh, okay.
I have never played any of the Alan Wake games.
They're good. It's like a supernatural horror
I mean,
where you're a writer.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of picked that up for just through cultural osmosis, but yeah.
And Alan Wake's kind of a hack writer, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He's not a good writer.
Well, he basically wrote Max Payne
yeah.
in so many words. Like the character from the books he writes is called Alex Casey, and he's a hard-boiled crime detective guy, and he's
Boiled.
He's 100% Max Payne.
He
It's
is.
by the same studio that made the first 2 Max Paynes, so it's very like a
Right,
wink,
but they
wink,
couldn't
nudge,
use,
nudge.
they couldn't use the rights
Yeah.
to it.
Kind of like,
Yeah.
a wink at the camera.
Yeah. At one point in the first one, you find a page from the Alex Casey books, and it is 100% Max Payne metaphors.
Uh-huh.
But it gets extremely heady, and like he ends up like with the ability to alter reality through his own writing, and like it's really interesting and cool.
Wasn't that kind of the premise of a Stephen King story?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Stephen King mixed with a lot of Twin Peaks.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. And
Do
isn't
love-
the guy from the studio, Sam Lake, isn't he the facial model or body model for Alan Wake or something like
No,
that?
he's Alex Casey in
He's
the new
Alex
one.
Casey. I see.
So it even links him even more to Max
Yeah.
Payne because Sam Lake was the face
Was-
scan of Max Payne.
Of Max Payne. That's what it is. Okay. That's what it was.
Oh, so not only is it an allegory, making kind of poking at Max Payne, he also just looks like Max Payne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the start of the second one, you're an FBI agent and your partner is Alex Casey, even though he was previously a fictional character.
Right.
So, like, what's going on there? Something.
Twin Peaks stuff.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. Yeah.
Wonder if they'll make a best damn coffee reference.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They talk about coffee and pie a lot, a couple times.
Of course.
My theory right now is that Alan Wake has written Alex Casey into reality.
Into existence. Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. So the only other thing that I've really done this week is, you guys remember the Drew Carey Show?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found a bunch of them online,
Huh.
and I watched some.
Does it hold up?
Kinda.
Kind of.
Yeah,
That's about-
it's still fun. I mean, it's very sitcom-y. But
Oh
it's
yeah.
That's about the best you could want from a sitcom. Is it does it hold up? Kind of.
Kinda,
But,
yeah, it's fine. It's interesting to me that it's never been other than beyond the first season. It's never been released on DVD anywhere because of they used a lot of licensed music for the intro and during the show and stuff like that. And the licensing would be a nightmare to try to work out in order to release it in an official capacity. Yeah, because I mean, this starting with the second season, I think it was Time Warp was something was the theme song, and then after that was Cleveland Rocks.
But I mostly just remember the Cleveland Rocks.
Cleveland
Yeah.
Rocks as performed by the presidents of the United States of America.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, I remember a lot of The one half of the good part of, whose line is it anyway?
Ryan Stiles.
Yeah, there we go.
Ryan Stiles was in it a lot. Diedrich Bader is great in it.
Oh, I forgot he was in that.
Yeah. He was great, and they're all. It's a solid show.
Like, I remember watching it a lot when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I always, in my mind, that is like when I think of Drew Carey. And then anytime I see him now, I'm like, who is this man? Who is? I'm glad he got healthy.
Yeah.
I'm glad he is. He's healthy, but. Who is this man?
I know I've watched it on several occasions, but I can remember absolutely nothing about it.
Growing up, it was one of those shows that every Wednesday night, I think it was, there for the longest time. It was on for 9 seasons. I didn't know it was on for 9 seasons.
Because I remember seeing ads for it on UPN.
Yeah.
When I was watching Voyager.
Right. And I think it was originally an NBC or CBS, maybe ABC.
It was one of those syndicated sitcoms that would play like on the after school time, like with
sometimes,
like with the Simpsons and like Friends.
Yes, yeah, the reruns, yeah. But no, it was a fun show, and they did some fun stuff. Like they did a couple of live shows where they would perform the show live for the East Coast, and then turn around and perform it again for the West Coast.
Like 30 Rock did.
Like kind of like 30 Rock did, and there were like there was a mystery episode. It was like you could solve the crime.
Who shot Mr. Burns?
Who shot Mr. Burns? Yeah, they did a lot of gimmicky stuff in later seasons, but introduced the world to what's his name? Not Clive Robinson.
Whose line is it anyway?
Yeah,
original guy.
The original. It was the Late Show guy.
Craig Ferguson.
Craig Ferguson, thank you. Yes, that's where
Scottish
he was.
one.
Yeah, that's where he was prior to. He was Mr. Wick.
Oh, that's
his
boss. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I just remember really liking that it took place in Ohio when I was a kid.
Was cool.
I was like,
that's pretty much
where
how
I live.
That's pretty much how I was when I was
made
younger.
references to it and stuff.
Yeah. Even though it was Northeast Ohio and I had no frame of reference.
We're not from there. We're not from there.
And I forgot how much of the show was based around their side business, Buzz Beer, where they mixed coffee with beer and had a brewery in Drew's backyard.
They made Four Loko.
Basically, kinda, yeah. They predated the microbrewery boom by like 10 years, 15 years.
Maybe that's
like
where all the IPA bros got.
Maybe
they all grew up watching the Drew
Carey Show. Exactly. Yeah.
The Brew Carey Show.
I want a pool table in my backyard that
would be cool.
Tarp over.
Yep.
And now I'm just thinking of it collecting rainwater and then making a habitat for mosquitoes, and I hate the idea of it. I am so old.
You gotta buy into the magic of the fiction. The most fictional thing about the Drew Carey Show was that he kept that pool table in pristine condition in his backyard in suburban Cleveland.
It wasn't just buried in snow 80%.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, hey, let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to get into some news.
Ed Sheeran, Beyonce, Drake, Taylor Swift. Not a single one of these music legends has any idea what our show Long Play is all about. I would bet that not a single one of these music megastars will ever tune into an episode of Long Play here on WZMO. But you can. I'm Greg Dunham, and I invite you to catch Long Play every Friday night at 11 or Saturday afternoon at 3 and give a listen to the radio show that 99.9% of all future Rock and Roll Hall of Famers will never hear.
Hey, we're back from the break. Let's get into some extra spicy news. All right, so is there anything currently on the docket that we can use to distract ourselves from what we're going to have to do during the second half of this break?
There's lots of news to talk about.
All right, so let's talk about some things. Let's talk about some non-movie trailer news.
They cast the Fantastic Four. That's something.
They did, yeah. They on Valentine's Day. It's actually kind of a cute thing. Marvel Studios put out a really, really nicely illustrated, like old school kind of picture.
It reminded me of what's his name? Sam Rockwell. It reminded
Not
me.
Sam Rockwell. Norman Rockwell.
Norman Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell
is an actor.
Is an actor.
From Moon?
Close.
Yes.
You mean from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Oh yeah,
The original?
He was in that.
He wasn't that. He was a teen punker in that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Norman Rockwell.
Anyway, there was a illustration of the 4 cast members who have been cast as the titular Fantastic
The
Four.
Marvel's first family.
Yeah, so Pedro Pascal was one of them.
He's in everything now. He's literally
is.
in everything now.
I hope we aren't getting too much oversaturation.
I know.
He seems like a great
He's
guy.
a great guy
and
and a good actor.
Luckily, the show he's known most for, he's barely actually in that show. So.
That's very true.
It's just
Yeah.
his voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm pulling up the
And
rest of the cast.
He doesn't even
here.
talk that much either.
He doesn't, no.
He's definitely the strong silent type.
Right. So we have Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm. Vanessa Kirby, the rest of these actors, they've done a bunch of stuff, a lot of popular things I haven't seen. Mm-hmm. But I know Vanessa Kirby as the sister of Deckard Shaw in Fast and the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw.
You would know this.
I would know that.
I think it's good that they're getting a Kirby involved with the
It is funny. Yeah, that is good. That is good. Yeah, good one there. We have Eben Moss Bacharach, who is playing the Thing, which is interesting because they, again, he's been in a bunch of stuff. Personally, haven't seen, but he is Jewish, and so is
The
Ben
Thing.
Grimm
Yeah,
from the Thing.
He's
So-
one of the few canonically Jewish characters in Marvel.
Yeah,
Exactly,
And
yeah.
this is the first time they've had an actually Jewish person play him in a movie.
So that's kind of cool. I don't know if that was intentional or just it just kind of
Happy-
happened that way.
happenstance.
happy accident or whatever.
It could have
but
been we don't want to get canceled on Twitter, so
that is very possible as well. But either way, I've heard good things about him. And the last one is Joseph Quinn, who was on Stranger Things. He was
Eddie
Munson.
Eddie Munster.
Eddie Munster. Yes, the tiny werewolf boy. No, but no, it's a good cast. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with the film from there, like what kind of story we're going to get. It's very clear that it's going to be set at least partially in the 1960s, right?
Yep.
Because you did some research on that, didn't you?
They showed a picture of they took a blow up of the Marvel post, the Valentine's card, whatever, with them on it, and Ben Grimm sitting on a chair with a magazine, and it is
A Life magazine.
a Life magazine
Yeah.
from 1965. With the president on it,
They've-
it's a real magazine.
It has like Eisenhower or someone on it, I think.
I can't remember. Yes,
Nixon?
It's not
no,
Nixon.
it's not Nixon.
It's not
Kennedy.
Nixon.
It's not. No, it's not Kennedy.
I think it's Eisenhower,
Yeah.
but whatever.
Regardless, it's a real.
Regardless.
It was a real magazine from 1965.
Yeah. The theory is that at least part of it is going to take place in the 60s.
Yes.
And if the costumes that they're wearing in that illustration is any indication of what they're going to be wearing in the movie, looks great because they're not superhero costumes.
Nope.
They look like old school astronaut suits, kind of.
Yeah, they're more like
kind of baggy
jumpsuits.
They
Yeah.
look like they're almost like wool, like thick wool or something.
Well, I also noticed on the Pedro Pascal one,
Mm-hmm.
his looks like it's designed a little differently.
yeah.
So obviously, it's designed with his
Stretching
powers.
They're
in
all going to
mind.
have slightly different modified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sue Storm's not going to have her 4 cut out.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Like the
Oh.
90s boob window that she
Oh,
had.
that one
Yeah.
was so
That was
dumb.
bad.
That was rough.
That was
rough.
bad.
Hey, did you see Larry David attacked Elmo on?
The morning show.
It was like the morning
morning
show
show?
or early show or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
If
was kinda
anybody,
funny.
if anybody was going to attack Elmo, I guess it would be Larry David.
Larry David.
Cranky old Larry David.
It was
Yeah.
in front of Elmo's dad too.
Yeah, that's the
pretty-
funny thing. Yeah.
And Elmo's dad, honestly, didn't seem that bothered by it. It's kind of upsetting how little he was.
Negligent parentage,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, he's always letting him run around that street alone.
I mean, if Elmo was my kid, maybe Larry David would be doing me a favor.
Oh, come on.
I'm not a big Elmo fan.
I'm always more of a
honestly.
Grover guy myself.
Yeah.
I mean, Grover's got a lot of personality.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not. Elmo's not one of the original.
He's not.
Sesame Street
He's not.
Muppets. And there was a time he was popular and he kind of took over the whole
Yeah,
thing.
he definitely kind of
Yeah.
became like, the mascot of Sesame Street for a minute when it obviously it's been Big Bird forever.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I was always more of a Cookie Monster or Grover.
Yeah.
Super Grover was great.
Oh yeah. Or when we were really young, the monster at the end of the book.
Oh, yeah, I loved that book
A
when I was a
classic,
kid.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely a classic.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of classic kids
Literary
books,
classic.
I went on a Wikipedia deep dive. Do you guys remember the Sideways Stories from Wayside School series of books?
Yeah.
I went on a Wikipedia deep dive, just kind of bouncing around from thing to thing the other night, and it like unlocked a bunch of memories because I read those books a lot as a kid. And yeah, like Lewis, the playground monitor, and the kid that was a bunch of smelly raincoats with a dead rat inside it and stuff. Like it was like baby's first Twilight Zone kind of stories.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were kind of cool. I remember those. Yeah.
There are all kinds of books like that when we were younger.
Yeah.
Like everyone's kind of piggybacking off like all like, the I want to say horror, but kind of like
And they weren't really horror. They were
Off-
just kind of
yeah,
weird.
just off things like that.
Yeah.
That
Weird
were,
fiction.
were
Yeah.
weird fiction.
Yeah.
Like Goosebumps isn't necessarily scary. It has, fearful elements in it.
Sure.
But I wouldn't exactly call them scary.
Yeah, well, kids like to think that they're being scared when they're not, kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
it makes it makes you feel like you're the brave kid that read the Goosebump book. I mean, that's
Exactly.
the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, or it makes you feel a little more, I don't know, a little more grown up, a little
Yeah.
more, I'm reading
I
a
can handle
scary
these things.
story.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you grow up into like, Fear Street or make the next step to like
then
Stephen
you start
King.
reading-
Are you
See,
afraid
that's
of the dark?
Are you afraid of the dark?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, I rode the pipeline, the Goosebumps to Stephen King pipeline.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So, okay, we probably have time for one more non-trailer news.
Disney
Let's-
bought a whole bunch of Epic games.
Yeah, Epic
Well-
Games, the folks that make a Fortnite.
And they're also the owner of the Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, they
That's the scary part.
yeah.
Yeah.
Disney bought
So 1.2 million or 1.2 billion dollars
I think
in
it's
stock.
with the B
Yeah.
to basically be like, we get a say in stuff and you get a lot of our licensed stuff.
I mean, good on it for
I mean, they
folks
practically
that-
were already there anyway. There's
with
a
the Fortnite stuff.
there's
yeah.
there's already a million, Marvel skins, Star Wars skins,
yeah.
other properties owned by them.
Yep. Yep.
But them owning that much of Unreal Engine, the engine that powers a large number
Every
of
game.
actual video game. Yeah.
Yeah. That
It's
means
kinda
Disney can
scary.
have their hand in everything
Yeah,
a little bit.
it's like Disney working their way into owning everything in video games, which is not.
Or movie, and they're doing the same thing with movies,
Yeah.
and like it's becoming one globo corporation that owns everything.
Everyone thought the cyberpunk future was going to be Asian corporations. It's just going to be
It's Disney.
Instead of the Atari symbol up on the building, it's going to be the Mickey Mouse ears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just imagining a Minnie Mouse in a hologram doing that bit from Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
It's
You look
not-
lonely.
It's not Arasaka, it's Disney.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right.
Gosh, I'm a real person, not an android.
We've
terrible
put
goofy.
it off
That was a
long
terrible
enough. That's
goofy.
all right. That's all right. We put it off long enough though. So
Here we
go. This is what we've been teasing for this entire episode.
Get a goofy yell in the chamber. 'cause-
Woo-hoo-wee!
Yeah.
Yeah. So a little bit of a preamble. 7 years ago, Josh and I did something very stupid on this show, in which we each ate a fresh raw habanero pepper, and then tried to talk about movie trailers that occurred during the Super Bowl.
And Super Bowl commercials
And
too,
Super Bowl
at the
commercials
time.
too. Yeah, at the time. It was a big hit. It was painful. We regretted it immediately. But it also became one of our most popular videos on YouTube.
Back when
we had YouTube. And I remember a few months ago, Cody, you requesting
I did some big talk about doing the hot chip challenge. I forget why.
You did.
Because it just came out and that was the thing.
Yeah,
It
was the thing at the time.
It was the thing.
Well, we've put it off long enough, my friends. We're sitting here in front of hot chips, glasses of milk, and bread. And we're going to talk about some movie trailers.
What brand is this? This chip?
This is East and Fury Kraft Potato Chip brand. So this is not the official one chip challenge. I couldn't find that one, and ordering it online was prohibitively expensive.
It's like, $30.
That's like $30 for one chip. That's crazy. Months ago, if you recall, one of my check-em-outs was going to Jungle Gyms down in Cincinnati.
I love Jungle Gyms.
Jungle Gyms is great. I found these for $6 a piece, and there's 2 chips in each one. So I have 2 packs. There's enough for all 3 of us. So let's look at the paperwork here.
Okay.
We have Welcome to the Face Off that will melt your face off.
And then the Pucker Butt Pepper Company, which is gross. And that name will probably be more relevant later after we've done that.
Oh, it's an ad for they sell entire bags of these. The smoky ghost pepper, habanero hickory barbecue, spicy ketchup, and creamy horseradish.
Spicy ketchup actually might not be too bad.
The horseradish might actually taste like steak chips.
Oh, yeah. And steak chips are good.
Steak chips are great.
Oh, and we get a commemorative coin.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. We have individually wrapped, ready, aim, and fire.
Now, they don't come with the gloves like the one chip challenge ones do, so maybe they won't be as bad.
Josh,
I'm
there you are, sir.
No, I have a cut on my thumb, so I got to be careful.
Yeah, maybe
about
don't
that.
touch the hot chip with your open wound. So we're gonna, fucking.
I mean, it doesn't smell like the most horrible thing in the
Well,
world.
mine opened wrong.
There's a bit of spice to that.
You gotta go across the top.
I did, and it didn't work.
There you go.
There we go. All right.
Okay.
Oh, it's a kettle chip.
It's smaller.
I like kettle chips.
Yeah, I like kettle chips.
I'm not a kettle
too.
chip guy, but that's all right. We'll do it.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
It smells not good.
It's not gonna be tasty.
Mine has a lot of spice on the one side. I'm terrified.
Oh, mine's got a ton like down the middle.
Yeah.
Like it's folded in half. It's got a lot of spice down the middle.
Ooh, okay, so how do we want to do this?
Well, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna count down 3, 2, 1, chew, wait for the heat to kick in a little bit, then start talking about stuff. And I want a special shout out to our cameraman here. He's taking a video so that we have this for posterity.
If I throw up, I'm not helping clean it up.
That's totally fine. Just try to aim away from the equipment. All right, counting down. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's immediate.
Well,
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right.
That's bad.
Oh, that's a rough one. Oh.
already.
Okay, you're going in.
Yeah.
I'm not touching the milk yet. I'm being a big man. Oh.
Oh, that's
Okay.
The back of my tongue is on fire.
Oh.
So there was a trailer for Deadpool.
It's Deadpool and Wolverine. The culmination of the Deadpool trilogy. His introduction into
MCU.
the MCU. Oh, it doesn't stop. Oh.
Nope.
Going for the milk. Okay. The trailer looks great. It looks like they're going to be tying it in with the TV. Oh my god.
The TVA from
TVA.
Loki.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which makes sense with all the time hijinks he pulled at the end of 2
Yeah.
with Cable's stopwatch thing.
This is the worst.
Yeah.
The milk only helps for literally half
Like
a second.
half a second. Bread? You guys want bread? Bread's supposed to help. Yeah.
Oh, I've already been going at the bread. Oh, this sucks.
But no, Wolverine and Deadpool looks great. We just got the tiniest touch of Wolverine. It's great. I can't wait for it. Okay, moving on. Twisters.
The sequel or remake of the original Twister.
It looks like it's going to be a remake, which is weird. Who's asking for it?
Yeah.
It's a classic movie, and it didn't really need to be touched.
Is it that much of a classic though, really?
Not really. I mean, people remember it.
I mean, I really liked it when I was a kid. Me and my sister used to watch it on VHS all the time.
I like the ride they had for it at Universal Studios. That was neat.
Thank you, cameraman. We have extra milk here. I appreciate it. I remember watching Twister in science class because we had done a section on natural weather occurrences. Our teacher wasn't very good. So he was like, we're just going to watch Twister. This is scientific enough.
That's okay. I watched Gladiator for a history class.
Oh, yeah, the historic documentary, yeah.
In junior high, our science teacher had us watch Willow once for some reason.
Nice. Okay, covered that. Wicked.
Yeah, they're doing a movie for the stage production.
We knew this was coming. It's
alternate universe or prequel.
alternate
to...
take on Wizard of Oz. Popular stage play. Apparently, it's both. It's taking elements from the book and the stage play. So it's both, and it's a part 1 of 2. They don't talk about that.
Oh,
They're doing a Dune.
Thank you.
It's a part 1 of 2.
Is there that much there?
Apparently.
maybe they're gonna pull up Peter Jackson,
Yeah, maybe.
They're hobbiting it.
Yeah.
which makes me sad because that really didn't work for The Hobbit.
It's starting to cool down a little bit for you guys, yeah.
I keep thinking I'm at the back end of it, and then it fires back up.
I get a little tiny burp or something, and it flames right back up.
The back of my tongue and the roof of my mouth near my uvula
Yeah.
is all on fire.
Oh.
And I hate it.
But no, Wicked. It looks fine. It looks okay. I didn't know that Jeff Goldblum was going to be the wizard in it, and he's like the main antagonist of the film.
It feels like,
Which is kinda cool.
It feels kind of like what they're doing with this is, I understand that's kind of the point of Wicked, is to kind of humanize the Wicked Witch.
Yeah.
But it almost feels like a Maleficent in a way, where it's like it's focusing on, this is the villain of a established thing.
I like them humanizing the Wicked Witch. I don't like stories that are like, what's the secret backstory behind these people? That's like, you don't really need to.
Like Wonka?
The Wicked Witch is a Wicked Witch. Willy Wonka is just a magic man who does chocolate. Whatever.
I think Maleficent was made in response to the popularity of Wicked. Now that I
Probably.
think about it.
That's a good point.
It was around the same time as the stage play was getting real big.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. X-Men 97, the animated series, returning to Disney Plus.
Yep. This is a continuation of the classic 90s animated.
From our childhood.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you thought of superhero cartoons when we were kids, there are 3 you think about. Mm-hmm. Batman the Animated Series.
Yep.
Spider-Man. And the X-Men.
That's right.
And Spider-Man and X-Men used to cross over all the time.
Yes.
And Road Rovers.
Yep. Road Rovers. Biker mice from Mars. Yes.
Street Sharks.
Street Sharks. But no, it has the janky animation, or at least mimicking the janky animation style of the 90s.
It's almost too clean.
It is a little too clean.
It's almost too clean. Like that. Like they start the trailer off with the end scene.
Yeah.
From the original series.
Yes, and that looked bad.
Yeah, and then
They probably shouldn't have showed him back
Although,
to back.
to be fair, the 5th season and final season of the original X-Men animated series, they switched animation houses from ACOM to a much cheaper one, so the animation was significantly worse in that last season anyway. So this could be matching first season X-Men animated series animation.
That's true. I mean, there's definitely all the hard shadows.
It's digital. I'm 100% sure it's digital animation.
Oh, yeah.
And the original was cell, and that's why you get
They got a lot of
color differences.
Yeah, but it's looking pretty cool.
They got some of the original voice actors back.
Yeah. As many as they could.
Unfortunately, some of them have passed on.
Yes. The show has been off the air for 16, 17 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Makes sense. But finally, Josh, tell me about some apes.
So, a trailer for the new Planet of the Apes film, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, the 4th film in the new franchise. And it's definitely picking up from the footnotes of the last one, where it was the fall of humanity and the rise of ape civilization. And we're getting into the whole apes hunting humans, like in the opening of the original.
Yeah.
But apes still aren't there technologically. We're not quite to Ape City yet.
And they don't look like ape men like they do.
No, they are
they're
definitely
still ape
they are
people.
still
Yeah.
apes wearing
Loincloths and clothing.
cloths
and
and
stuff.
clothing. Yeah, they're still very tribal.
They're talking monkeys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cody, you mentioned this while we were watching the trailer before recording. I don't know if I could sit through the movie with them speaking as slowly as they do.
Yeah, like some of the apes were speaking normally, and others were doing the apes together strong.
Me monkey.
Yeah, an entire movie of that would be too.
I don't
too
think
much.
they weren't doing like the broken English me monkey, but it was the same cadence.
It was
as
a very
that.
slow
Oh yeah,
cadence.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely that.
I think I'm through the most of it.
I am too. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we're pretty
yeah.
close. Which is funny because we're actually through the trailers as well. Guys, we did it. We
You
did
know
it.
what? I thought it would be.
no!
Well,
The burp finally got me.
yeah.
Oh, I think
It wasn't as bad as I thought.
Yeah,
it
it's like it was a punch.
yeah.
It was a punch. It wasn't like a slow burn. Like
The
the habanero was a slow burn.
The habanero also had staying power, but also there was all that oil
yeah,
You were gonna
and the
say
seeds.
stank, and
It had a lot of stank
on
on it. Yeah, it did. But no, this was like you get hit really hard, and those first couple of minutes were like agony. But you know what? This was all right. We did it.
It
We
wasn't,
did it, guys.
The habanero was definitely worse.
I think so. Which
This-
means, does that mean next time we actually have to find a ghost pepper?
No.
No.
It would be like that episode of The Simpsons with that pepper.
Oh,
that,
the Guatemalan Insano pepper.
that made Homer literally have a spirit journey.
Have a spirit journey and talk to the spirit wolf.
Yeah.
Voiced by Johnny Cash. Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that like when he brought the pepper to his tongue, it literally turned his tongue to ash.
That's right. Yeah.
I would maybe if we had some wings.
Yeah.
Maybe
you know
I would-
what?
Ooh.
Some ghost
I
pepper
would-
wings.
I would do wings, maybe.
Okay, like if I find the hot one's hottest sauce and put some wings on it.
Now I'm just
Would
thinking
you guys
that,
do it?
Now I'm I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
I'll eat
probably.
wings.
Yeah.
I'll eat
okay.
wings.
All right. Cool. All right.
Now I'm just remembering that bit with Shaq where he just kind of touches his tongue and it's like, ooh.
Yeah. So we have one last thing for the show. We actually, believe it or not, we have a voicemail, which means I get to play the worst song on our soundboard,
I think you mean best song.
the Mailbag Day song.
Mailbag Day, Mailbag Day. Hey, everybody, it's Mailbag Day.
Yeah, hey, hi guys. Look, I'm a long play staffer downstairs here at the ZMO satellite.
Oh, I wonder who
Now,
this
you
is.
know, I know you guys know like everything about stuff, but we at Long Play want to remind the members of Nerd Overload Nation that we have a chance to write something that we see as being long overdue, and that's getting our friend of show, Peter Frampton, elected to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Look, just punch up vote.rockhall.com. Vote every day, man. We are, like you guys say, check it out.
All right, yeah, that was a random staffer from sister show on the WZMO network, Long Play. And Peter Frampton is up to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I can't believe he wasn't already. That's wild.
Same thing.
Yeah,
same
like
here.
that's like
It's one of those highly overlooked things, I think.
off mic. They were talking about you guys were talking about some of the nominees and stuff, and I'm like, they're not already.
Well,
Yeah.
As big as the record as Frampton Comes Alive was, and
Yeah.
like, kind of like it made live albums a thing, and they didn't.
Plus, as a songwriter, he was big as well. He wrote some of Bowie's stuff. I mean, he was in Humble Pie. He was in a lot of like super bands, and his most popular work to date, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the movie
the movie with the Bee Gees.
with the Bee Gees. Yes,
It was awful Bee Gees.
yeah. So if you get a chance, go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame website and
Vote.
vote. Let's get him in there. Let's do it.
Be the change you want in the world and vote.
That's right.
That's the message.
That is. And with that, we're actually going to go ahead and wrap things up for the week. Thank you all for tuning in. You've been listening to Nerd Overload. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
You can find us on our socials on Facebook, Twitch, sometimes Instagram, or support our Patreon. Promise we won't be coming at you with these hot pepper challenges too much.
I feel so alive. Email us at staff@nerdoverload.com. Give us a call on that Nerd Overload hotline. You heard it work. The number's 419-561-5556. I almost said the phone number for my work.
You can find all of our back episodes on various podcast apps such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and more. Finally, I'd like to thank Parker for helping us out finding some news for the show, and David Pencil for the use of our intro and outro. You can find more of his stuff at davidpencil.com. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week.
Thanks, cameraman.
Yeah. Pepper out.